everybody. Thank you so much for joining us at this wonderful session, learning more about the University of Akron, but particularly finding your place as a student. Unlike other presentations that are focused on admission criteria or program criteria, I'm very, very excited to have to join the conversation right now, talking to students who are actually there. Because as a student, and I know whoever is joining right now, there's different group of people that are joining this webinar from current students. I do believe we have a few parents that identify themselves as parents when they're registered and our recruitment partners. It's important that you understand what you as a student or your students, either your child or students that you're helping, what they will feel like when they come and study at the University of Akron. Because studying and being in the classroom is fantastic, and being successful in your programs and in your academics, it is fantastic. But it is important as well for them to understand what life on campus will be like, because the University of Akron will be a home for many of you for quite a few years. And I'm extra excited to join it because my journey in United States started as an international student. So again, welcome to the University of Akron. My name is Blerina Polovina. I'm currently the Associate Vice President for International Student and Recruitment and Partnerships for all our U.S. partners. I'm super excited to work with the University of Akron. I did start my journey, as I said, many years ago, back in 1998, right out of high school, as an international student. And I came to United States to study. I fell in love with the country, with the opportunities that it would open up for me as a student. And I am excited many years later to still believe that this is a place where dreams do come true, where opportunities are given to you as a student, as an individual. But I've said it before and I will say it again. And I used to say that in orientation, with every time we would have new students join us, it is important for them and for you as a student, if when you decide to join University of Akron, to take advantage and to show up and to learn more and to have this open mind, because opportunities are there for you as a student. But it's important that you show up. It takes two to tango, I say. So we will talk to you about some of these opportunities. We will talk to you about some of the stories that our students have, to hopefully open the mind to you, to let you know, okay, when I come to campus, I will have access to all these other services and all this other stuff that I, as a student, can be a part of. And we want to make sure that you feel confident enough to say, okay, I'm going to go in and take advantage. I'm going to talk to the people who can help me. So I am excited to have you join us. And before we even start, and please, this will be a conversation style, but I'd like to introduce our panel. So first, Mariam Balte, you are currently a student who's studying Bachelor of Arts in Environmental Science. Hey, Mariam, would you like to say hello to everybody and say a bit about yourself? And I'm very keen to know why you're studying environmental science.
Hi everyone. My name is Mariam Balde. I'm from the Gambia. It's a small country in West Africa. And well, the reason I chose to study environmental science is because like in my country we have like so many environmental issues. So I would like to like learn about the process and opportunities and all like get all the resources so that I can go back to my country and help them with some of their environmental issues. Because we have the River Gambia in our country, which is like our source of food and all of that, but we depend on our neighboring country, Senegal, for electricity, while we can generate electricity in our country using the River Gambia. So yeah, there's like so many other different issues there, but like the main issue that I want to solve is basically like the electricity issue and like some other environmental factors. But yeah, we have so many resources, but we don't know how to like use them properly. So I would like to, be able to help my country use their resources properly and stop like depending on other countries for that. So yeah.
Cool.
Hmm.
Well, this is a pretty big dream you have. I'm excited, and I'm quite sure you're going to make the same difference. And I have a feeling many years later, I will see your name and I'll remember that I got a chance to talk to you. So that's fantastic, Mariam. Thank you. And I'd like to
Mhm.
introduce our other panel, Emily Fernandez, who's currently studying the Master of Science of Economics. Hello, Emily. Please say
Hi.
hello and let us know a little bit about you, and still curious why the Master of Science in Economics.
Yeah, so of course also an international student. I'm from Venezuela. I got my bachelor's at a different school in business, and then I joined the MSc program at Akron. And the main reason why I joined it was because I wanted to develop my analytical skills. I wanted to learn how to interpret data, manage data, because I think that'll be very important in my future career once I join the workforce. So definitely excited for that, and also I think growing up in Venezuela, for sure, I saw a lot of, financial and economic issues, and I think, if one day I'm able to kind of contribute back to my country and kind of help out in that area, that would be great as well.
I love it. And I think I love the stories of students, of international students, because the desire is so much bigger than just selfless. Like, I mean, we are selfish at one point, we want to grow as people, but our desires is to make such a bigger difference in the environment. And that's what makes it so exciting to work with students just like you. So, and Emily, you're right. Data is as good as you make of it, right? So,
Right.
so it's exciting to see the program that you're studying as well. For both of you ladies, first of all, I wish you the best of success. I'm quite sure you're going to be fantastic at whatever you do. Um, and so I'm excited to join the conversation. Before we do, just everybody who's here, please make sure you join, you use the chat or the Q&A box to ask any questions. This will be, as I said, a conversation between all of us. We will have you as to join us with some polls, as we're going to throw in later some maths, some facts or myths, and see what you believe or not believe. But this will be a very open conversation style presentation. So while I have some questions for these young ladies, if you have any questions for them or for me that we can be able to answer, please feel free to join the chat or the question box, and then we will get to you there. But with that, we're going to start into, first of all, before we start the conversation, just another reminder why University of Akron, why you as a student should explore the University of Akron, why you as a parent should feel confident that if your child is coming to study at the University of Akron, it will be the right place for them to do. And if you are a recruitment partner, to feel confident enough to say, there's great reasons why you should choose the University of Akron, and here's some of them. Well, first and foremost, they are very proud to be on the top percent for being ranked for for their environment on international student commitment. The University of Akron is a global and inclusive environment, and I've had a chance through talking to quite a few people who work at the University of Akron that this is one of the greatest things that they are really feel proud about. It is the environment that they have for international students and the willingness and the desire to support them through the way during their studies in and out of the classroom to assure that they as students take the best out of all these resources and become better young adults where they can support themselves, support their families, and make the difference that they can make in the world. And that is an environment that you as a student will join, and you want to be part of that environment because trust me, as a student, when you are away from home and you will feel alone sometimes, and sometimes you will feel scared, people there and an environment and a team there that is ready to support you on the good and the bad times. On the program end, it has some of the fantastic big programs that you can choose from. Of course, a big emphasis is going to be the STEM programs, and part of it because the world out there right now is looking for more STEM programs. So you will find some fantastic programs at the University of Akron, starting from their renowned polymer engineering programs and every other program apart from engineering that are very focused, even some fantastic business programs that are focused on STEM. Um, the one thing that makes it wonderful studying at the University of Akron is because of these programs, there's some strong connections with the industry partnerships that you will see at the University of Akron. And why is it important? Because you want to study a program that is going to make you ready and fit whenever you graduate to meet the demand of the workforce. And when you have strong partnership connections that the University of Akron does with the workforce and with the companies, then we feel certain that you as a student will be prepared for what those companies are looking for. So you are able to, once you graduate, to find good jobs and then be productive into your professional environment. And you will have what I said, a comprehensive support. Right at the beginning, as an international student, when you will start, you will have, even before you come, you will have some pre-arrival guidance to prepare you on what to do, how to, when you come to US and when you come to the University of Akron, what is it that you need to do right now to settle in into this new environment. And it will be a new environment because you're coming from a different country, you're meeting different people, and then you will have a dedicated orientation where they will guide you through the process, introduce you to the key offices that are going to be there to support you throughout your studies. And of course, because you are an international student, you have an office that will support you with any visa questions that you might have, because the main goal it is that you maintain your student status so you do not have any issues in the future. And then the whole system assistance, because you're going to come in the country, you're going to have those whole services ready for you, and then some guidance on how the whole system works in the United States, because sometimes it is completely different from where you come from. And to know that you're going to have guidance and to be supported on those times when you will get sick, hopefully not, but life happens, then you know you have a support there to guide you and help you through the way. And of course, a very cost effective and a high return on investment. The goal of all your education is one thing at the end of the day is I'm going to put a lot of resources that my family has put aside to support me through my dreams to study in the United States. What do I get out of it? Which is a very fair question that you as a student ask. Well, at University of Akron, you will have that cost effective because education compared to a lot of areas in the United States, tuition is not as expensive as you'd see in other areas in the United States and in other universities. And you're going to live in an area that cost of living, it's not as high as East or West Coast. So when you put all of that together, it will not be as expensive as one might think, because I know one of the myths and a lot of people who think they want to study in the United States is it's very, very expensive. Yes, it's going, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, studying in the United States is not, it's not very low, but compared to other institutions in the United States, you will find out that studying and living in the University of Akron, it's really, really quite affordable. And then when you put all that, the high return on investment that you will get out of a spot, out of once you graduate, then it will make the right decision for you to decide why you want to study at the University of Akron. Because the one thing is, when we're talking about the support that you will get as a student studying at the university, it is not just academically, but you will get that support well during your studies to take advantage of the experience of the learning experience that is really, really key when you study in the United States. And if you look at the University of Akron, you will learn more and more. You will have an opportunity to engage into co-op programs, internships, anything that you will be able to put into use what you're learning in the classroom, out of classroom, and that support will be given to you throughout your studies as a student. So once you graduate, you will be able to find those jobs. You will be able to find jobs that not just offering you a job, but they're going to pay you good money. And this is why I think it's one of the great reasons why you should explore studying at the University of Akron. But on top of it, I want to go back and talk to our students because finding the right program is one of the key areas that you all as a student has to decide when you come to United States, how much it's going to cost. I know it's another area, but another area that not a lot of students think about is how will I fit in an environment? How do I make the best of it out of the environment that I'm coming to? And this is the intention of this conversation. For you as a student, or if you're a parent, to understand what your child will feel like when they come to campus, and for you who are a partner right now helping us recruit for the University of Akron, to be able to say, look, when you come to campus, you will find this environment and you will be fully supported because you're going to be developed not just on your academics, but as a person. And so we want to make sure when you as a student come in, you know what to expect. We will get some tips from these two ladies on how you can successfully fit in and make sure you blend in with the environment so you can thrive during your experiences at the University of Akron. And with that, Mariam and Emily, if you can join the conversation, we will start up with a couple of questions I have for you. I'm just looking for your perspective. There's no right or wrong answer. I'm just looking to see what your experience looked like. So I will start with the first question. Can both of you walk us through the journey of why you chose the University of Akron? and what stood out to you during that process? Because who's joining is right now at this moment, it's prospective students. So they probably are going through the same decision ideas that you are, trying to explore why I'm going to one school to another. So I'm very keen to understand how your application process worked. Out of all the opportunities that were offered to you, what stood out for the University of Akron? So yeah, Emily, we can start with you.
Sure, yeah. So for me, while I was finishing my bachelor's degree, I was already in the US. But I wasn't sure if I wanted to go to grad school right away or if I wanted to get some experience working or having an internship or something like that. And during my last semester, my senior year, I was introduced to Akron's Master's of Science in Economics program by a mentor, and he was able to connect me with the head of the department as well. So I was able to talk to her. I attended the info sessions and got all the details on the program. They are reintroducing this program. So they have very small class sizes, and I was used to those small class sizes as well. And then just doing my research about a little bit more into the program and what they were offering, I thought it was going to be very, very valuable to me and definitely make an impact in my career. So I, again, anytime also I had any questions, I could connect with the department. They were extremely supportive. And then also the International Center helped me out as well. All the paperwork that you worry about as an international student can be a little overwhelming sometimes because, of course, as you mentioned too, we want to make sure that everything is in line, that we're not doing anything wrong. And that can be stressful for students, for parents, for everyone, right? So I am very, very happy that Akron has this big international center where you have people who are always there for you. You can reach out to them, you can schedule meetings with them. It can be online, it could be in person. Um, and I was doing this whole process over the summer. So even
Oh,
during
wow.
summer hours, they were there and willing to help. And that's how I made it to Akron. And yeah, I definitely, I'm super grateful for their help.
I'm very glad to hear that. Mariam, what about you?
So for me, I was like, so Akron wasn't actually my first choice to say, because I was looking at like it was part of the choices, but it wasn't like number one. But I was like looking at like the acceptance rate and like the amount of international students in like the schools and all that. So I had like four schools and Akron was one of them. And when I applied to all four schools, Akron was the only school that accepted me. But I was happy because when I came in, I mean, I was looking for like a university that offered like strong academic programs, like she said, and but like that is also supportive for international students. And like like my DSO really like helped me a lot because what stood out to me about Akron was that the welcoming environment and the resources available to help students succeed. And yeah, I felt like it was a place I could grow both academically and personally. And yeah, I'm very happy that like I got accepted by Akron as well. So yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I am sure Akron is very happy then with you joining them as well. And is it fair to say, from what both of you ladies said, um, that you felt that supportive environment even through your application process, and that you were guided in any questions? So that welcoming environment was in before you even joined the university. Will it be fair to say on both your cases?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, for sure.
definitely.
Yeah, and well, I mean, and I think sometimes students don't understand that, but usually when you're applying for universities, um, you will tell from the beginning which one are the schools that are going to be there to support you. And I know from our experience working with University of Akron, and we work with people in University of Akron in different areas, they have all been always supportive, always ready to, even through the application process. And that is always for everybody joining us. It's a good indication when the universities are so much involved with the student from the beginning to end. And like Emily, I mean, the head of the department was wanting to talk to you before you even decided, just to help you understand what the program is about. And Mariam, they reached out to you right away. They made the decision in an easy, fast process, helped you with the I-20 process. It is very imperative, and you can see when such care is given to students prior to them even arriving, then you know that you're going to come in a place that will support you on both those areas. Well, thank you for that answer, and I'm excited to hear that. And honestly, working now as we recruit for the University of Akron, we know more and we are more confident to go and say, look, we know you're going to come at a university that is going to support you. You can see it from the beginning all the way to the end when you graduate. So I'm going to step a bit back now, moving a bit forward through your application journey. You got admitted, you got accepted. Well, now you arrived to campus. I'm sure maybe for both of you, the experience might have been a bit different, especially since I know, Emily, you probably were in US before, you were in US prior, and maybe you had more understanding of the US environment. But I'm very keen to know from both your side, in your first few weeks at the University of Akron, as an international student, what felt different about the academic experience and how did you navigate it?
Do you want me to
Um,
start? Sorry.
yeah, whoever wants to start first. And as I said, maybe Emily, probably because you had the Bachelor of Education in United States, maybe you were a bit more used to the academic way of performing, but every school is different. So yeah, I'm keen to know from both of you what was in the first few weeks an adjustment, and then I will tell you my experience. And I know I was an international student many, many years ago as a 1998, but I'll tell you part of my experience as well.
I think for me, as I said, yeah, I got my bachelor's in business at a different school, which is not that far from Akron, but it was a very small school and private school. So it was really tiny, and you pretty much knew everyone. So it was very different. Once I moved into Akron, it's much bigger school from what I was used to. I didn't know anyone like my friends were all at the other school or already graduated. And Akron is also it's a small city, but it's downtown, and I wasn't used to that either. I was like in the suburbs before. So that was a obviously a thing I had to adapt to. Um, so again, I didn't know the area, I didn't know anyone, but I definitely still felt like the people working there and the people that I met, in my program, during my classes, the faculty, the department, the fellow students, I think they were all extremely supportive, as we've said before. And that really helped me, adapt, I guess, quicker to the environment, because I felt like, if I had any questions or if I needed help of any kind, I could just go to someone, ask them, and they could help me, or they could refer me to whoever had the answer for me. So definitely an adjustment. But then if I go, back to like my first week ever, I think I was definitely just worried about like speaking English like the whole day, I think, because I'm not from an English speaking country, so I had English lessons before, of course, but I didn't like all my classes weren't in English. So I think that part I was a little stressed out about that because I was like, wait, what if I don't understand what the professor's saying, right? If they speak like really fast or I don't know. So I was just worried about that, but everything went well, and you can always ask. It's not like it's okay to ask
Yeah.
questions, and you also get used to it. And if whoever come, if you have any students here who are joining and they don't come from an English speaking country, that's okay. Your English is gonna get so much better by just being here and practicing it all the time. So that's what I would say.
Yeah. And Mariam, for you?
I think I have like a similar experience because like she said, her school was like a private school. I also like graduated from a like private high school. So like coming here, like seeing like the amount of people that were there, it was like yeah, at first I was uncomfortable, but then I got used to it because they like everybody is so nice around. Like when I came, I remember I didn't know like the like where my classes were and everything, but whoever I asked, they were so nice. They would like tell me, oh, it's here, it's here, it's here. And also like one of the biggest differences I noticed was the interactive classes. Like they were very like how interactive the classes were, because back home learning was like more lecture based, But
Yes.
here, professors like really encourage like participation, discussions, and critical thinking. Yeah, at first, it was a bit challenging for me because I wasn't used to speaking up as much, but like over time, I started like asking questions, attending office hours, which was really great. Those like attending office hours is literally like the best thing like ever, like for students like to do. And and engaging more in classes, which really helped me adapt. Yeah, it did a
Yeah.
lot. Hmm.
Yeah, I love both stories. And if I go back many years ago when I came in as an international student, I think no matter if it was in 1998 or in 2026, as an international student, when you come in, you're still going to have that experience. And for me, it was both. It was the English. First of all, it was the speaking was too fast, and then I was afraid that if I said anything, it was going to be wrong. But it was more in my head because people were always nice. Nobody made fun of my English. And if I didn't understand something, then they will be very, very open to help me with those questions. But again, getting involved, and I do believe the fact that you said asking questions, because I think that one of the biggest misconceptions right now, especially when you come from abroad and then you come to study in United States, you think you need to just listen to what the professor says, do the homework, and be quiet. And engagement is key here, right? The professors look for that environment where you can ask questions and they can answer questions, when you can bring ideas on the table. And that can feel foreign for somebody whose experience in education has always been sitting in the classroom, listening to what the professor is saying, and taking notes and just doing those final exams. So yeah, it was, I think, even many years ago, and now it's still an experience that I think a lot of students have to adjust. But I like, Mariam, when you said the office hours. I started
Hmm.
attending those office hours. And if I'm sitting here right now and doing the job I do, I think it started from me attending those office hours because I was in my DSO, PDSO office so many times asking questions that the director at one point said, "You are here all the time. Do you want a job?" And I said, "Yes, I want a job." And so I did start working at the international office, and maybe that's where it started, where here I am right now, recruiting international students. So you never know. So I appreciate that that experience that you spoke about, and I think I want to prepare students when they join to not feel, oh my God, I'm not understanding it. It's very, very normal. Excuse me, my voice. It's very, very normal for you as a student to feel like, oh my God, they're talking too fast. Do I ask a question? And I want you as a student who's looking to explore joining University of Akron to, first of all, those feelings are normal. It's not, you're not going to be alone in it. And always talk to students who are already there, who can kind of give you some tips on how to get over those feelings, and know that you're going to have a system to support you, and people who are going to be willing to help you with any questions that you might have. So we're going back. Then I want to go back to another question right now. What were some of the challenges you faced when you started in University of Akron, but even in United States, whenever your journey started, to adapt to a life in US? And what support and resources helped you through the transition? Miriam, you want to start with this one?
Hmm. So yeah, adapting to US life, like it came with a number of challenges, like especially like adapting to new culture, being away from family, and like managing everything like basically independently. I remember the first time I came, it was during winter. It was so cold. I mean, I've never experienced a winter like that. So I was like, oh my God, I can't survive in this weather. Get me out of here. So yeah, it was very challenging, but then after like I got used to it because I experienced my second winter like this year, and it was good. It was okay for me. And yeah, but one of the biggest challenges for me has been like balancing academics with financial responsibilities, like especially when unexpected changes happen. Because I remember that like when I just came, like before coming, I had a sponsor, but then unfortunately, like he had to like um he couldn't sponsor me anymore for personal reasons. So I've been like struggling with that a lot, like, paying my tuition fees and all that. It's been like a challenge for me, and it still is a challenge, but like at times that like the uncertainty can affect planning like for like upcoming semesters. But despite that, I've stayed focused on my academics and was honored to be recognized on the president's list, which reflects like the effort I've put into like maintaining strong performances. And like what really helped me was reaching out for support. Like I said, I reached out like my DSOs. They've been helping me a lot, whether from like other students or like campus resources, like for Zip Assist or like financial aid and all of that. Yeah, so which made like the transition a lot more manageable.
Thank you, Mariam. And Emily?
Hmm.
Yeah, I think I've had a similar experience too. You know, things can happen that you and having family. My family is back home, so if you know something happens there, obviously it's
It
gonna
affects you.
affect what I'm doing here, even though I'm not there physically. So yeah, definitely things that have going on. You know, I've been going on at home definitely affected. I think last semester was rough in that sense. But anytime I needed help, I also talked to the DSOs. I talked to the department, the econ department where I am, and you know, they have always been very, very supportive. Um, when balancing different things, definitely financially making sure you're trying to have, you know, budgeting and doing stuff like that. That's something that we all have to figure out at the beginning and see what works for us. Um, but yeah, there are, for example, like on-campus jobs, and I'm a TA too for the econ department. So that's also a good opportunity for students who are coming in and are looking to get like some sort of discount on their credits and stuff like that. Or just simply on-campus jobs that can help you make some extra money. That could be for food or, you know, anything that you might need. Um, and then I think also just in like errands, running errands with paperwork, trying to open like your first like bank account here. I think
Yeah.
when I first did those things, I was definitely nervous, because yeah, at home I was used to my mom and figuring that out. Definitely, you know, tried to do a lot of research prior, but then just ask the people who you know, just ask them how it works. They know, they've lived there, so don't be afraid to ask those questions. And I do think that the international center here helps you out, like when you first come in and you get like a big info session, they explain all the rules, and they talk you through different scenarios, like, yo, I want to open my bank account. There's like a bank right on campus basically that you can go to, you know, those little
Yeah.
things. If you ever have questions like that we all are gonna have at some point, um, they're there to support you as well. So
And yeah, I mean, I think everybody who goes away to college is to figure out how to be an adult, but for being an international student, you add something extra on top of it because you are so far away from home. And you're right to say sometimes whatever is happening at home, even though you're not there, it's going to affect you. Other and vice versa as well. So it's important you have an environment to support you through those challenges. I will say back when I came as a student, I will tell you the first couple of weeks in US, um, it was funny enough. The biggest adjustment I had to do was food. And it's like, and maybe 20 some years ago, I don't think you have the different type of foods right now are in the country. But I will tell you, I tried bread for the first time in United States, and it was the Wonder Bread in a in a bag. And I'm not sure if you had that experience, but when I grew up, we had a bakery right down the street, so you could smell the fresh bread baking. So then here I am going to a store, and I bought a bread and my first call with my mom, and trust me, many years ago, you had to have a scratch card to talk to your family. So you counted those minutes, and I started to cry. I'm gonna die here, Mom. There's no food here. I'm gonna die. So that adjustment was just that bread was such a big shocker for me. So sometimes as an international student, it will be the tiny little thing that will make you feel so away from home that I think feels like a big adjustment as a student was very important for me to, as you lady said, to go into the offices and the people who are there to support you because they've done it before. They've seen the students prior to any new one joining, so they will be able to support you the right way. And trust me, the bread is much better now, and there's so many other options in US. But to me, it was that little thing. Right out of high school, you go all the way across the world, and you're realizing you don't have bread to eat, so your brain goes wherever it went for me. But always tell students you will have a hard time. That's not the reality. It's hard to adjust, right? But knowing that you have people to support you on the way will make all the difference in the world. And confidentially, we can say University of Akron is there to support anybody on that process. So with that, I will go to my other question. My apologies on that. Okay. Okay, so ladies, what helped you feel like you belonged at the University of Akron? And how did your relationship with other students develop over time? Emily, I see you are in front of me. You want to start with that one, and then I'll take to Mariam after.
Yeah, I think definitely just connecting with people within my program. As I said, it's a program that they've been reintroducing to the school. So this is the first year, I think after COVID that they restarted the program. So we have a very small cohort, which I actually like because it makes it more personable, um, and it's easier to connect with faculty that way for me at least. So I think just connecting with them, connecting with the department, and then outside of that, there's a lot of student organizations that are there, and they offer events and activities. And if you're more than welcome to, um, and you can create meaningful connections there as well. But yeah, definitely within your program, within your department, whether you're in the College of Business or somewhere else, you can meet great people. And then I've had a really good experience with the roommates I have this semester as well. So I've connected with them. We're all different majors, all different ages actually too, I think. But connecting with them has been great. Um, and then I also, I've met people going to the rec center that's on in school, and they have a lot of like sports, like tournaments or classes you can join if you like yoga or if you like playing soccer or basketball or whatever you might like. You can meet people there as well. So yeah, I think just from an international student standpoint, I think definitely kind of getting out of your comfort zone a little bit and just trying to meet new people, and just being confident and just enjoying yourself, and find those activities that you enjoy, and then you'll find people, make a connection with them.
Thank you, Emily. And Maria?
Yeah, I feel like we're it's the same thing with me as well. So like she said, like connecting with other students, especially international students that like help that understand what you're going through as well. Because I have I'm roommates with like two other students that are also like international, and I met them like since like our first orientation. So we've been friends since my first year here. And one of them actually she's the founder of one of the student organizations. I'm in the Francophone Student Association. She's the president and I'm the secretary. So yeah, getting involved in like student orgs is also another big thing because you can like make a lot of friends there and like explore new things and like she said, get out of your comfort zone because like whenever like you join some new student orgs, you unlock like this new part of you that you didn't know that you had. So yeah, like she said, so right now I'm like the secretary for both the Muslim Student Association and the Francophone Student Association, and also like I'm also like a member of like the geoscience department and the women in geoscience as well. So attending those like student orgs is gonna help you a lot, like to connect with people and yeah. And also like sorry, so yeah, like they help you like so also like I'm sorry.
No, it's
Um
okay.
okay, what was I gonna say? So yeah, like the student orgs, like she said, the student orgs actually help you a lot Also, I'm also like one of like the Dean's Team ambassadors where like I support college events, welcome guests and interact with other students from different backgrounds, which actually like helps a lot. So like you can be like it's basically like being like a mini role model to like new students and current students as well. So yeah,
Yeah.
you talk to them about your experience and what you've been through and all of that. So yeah, so these roles like they help you build like meaningful relationships over time, and that they really help me feel connected on campus and at home. Like it made me like feel like I was also at home because like most of the no, most of the students I hang out with are also international students. So like yeah, you don't get homesick as much when you're like with them.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I appreciate both answers. Thank you so much, ladies. And I think both of you emphasize the fact get involved with the student organizations, especially because that's where you're going to find the students. During orientations, I'm assuming that's like Mariam, what you said, during orientation, you just met this new people and now become very good friends. And I think for everybody joining, just to understand, it's important if you think you're not going to have time joining these organizations, you don't sit in the classroom as much as you usually would have said when you're in high school, right? Or even in your other. So you have pretty a lot of free time as a student out of a classroom to get engaged. Is that a fair assessment to say, ladies? So students will have time to get engaged. So if they say I don't have time, you will have time, and I think it will help you make friends, but it will help you, as Miriam, you said, you unlock things in yourself you didn't know you had, and sometimes those environments can help you do that. So I appreciate the answer because I've always emphasized the fact to all students before, and I will always do how important it is to be involved in these organizations, to find something that you're interested in and learn and meet new people. And I think they will make good friends. They will find an environment that sometimes, as Mary said, it may feel like you're not missing home as much, even though you miss it, but you still get involved because there's life and there's people that you can hang out with and learn, and that's very important. And I hope students understand that. I'm going to ask one like final questions before we go into our fun um, game style where we have myth and facts for just to see what people think they know or don't know. And you probably, ladies, I think throughout both your all conversation we've had, you've specified it. But if you can sum it up based on your experience, what would you say for a new students joining the University of Akron? What should they take advantage early on to make the most of their time at the university? And I know you highlighted them throughout all our chats, but if you can sum it up with a few tips for students coming in, what would you start? What would you say? Miriam, we can start with you on that.
So I would say, like I said before, the office hours, that is literally the best thing you can do. It really helps a lot. And also like going to like having like not like I mean visiting your DSOs like not frequently, but like asking them questions and all of that. If whenever you're stuck or anything, just ask them because they're here to help. There's also this there's also Zip Assist where you can like go and ask questions and yeah, it's like everybody is like really helpful. So don't be afraid to like ask questions and step out of your comfort zone. And also like engage in was like this very like shy person. Like I was always in my shell. But then when I started like joining student orgs, I I like I said, unlocked like new parts of myself that I didn't know. So yeah, started becoming more involved. And this helps you more like it helps adjusting it helps you like adjust easier and like it helps everything go like smoothly and yeah, just try like to ask as many questions as you have. Don't feel shy. Don't like say, oh, they they wouldn't want to help me. They're gonna help you no matter like how impossible the situation may seem, they're gonna help you. They're gonna do everything in their power to help you out.
Thank you. And Emily?
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think office hours are always good for sure. If you think, you have any questions for the instructor or you are struggling with something, definitely go to your professors. I think that's important. Or also just, sorry, go into the department in general and just asking questions. If you can't get a hold of the professor, they'll help you get a hold of them. And then if you ever need tutoring, for example, I know there are tutoring hours available as well. There are a lot of students who that's like their on-campus job. So if you ever want to tutor or join tutoring sessions, that can help you out. Um, and then yeah, going to the international center, setting up an appointment. I think that's always valuable because you know, I feel like you get to campus and you have orientation and you get a lot of information kind of thrown at you. And it's okay if you don't remember something or things are going to pop up eventually that you're going to be like, oh, I'm not sure if I can do this, or I don't know, I'm not sure what do I have to fill out for to do this. And the International Center has a lot of experience with that. Akron does have a big international student population as well. Student from different places, going through different programs, different situations. So I think and just making sure that you're not leaving anything to yourself, because I feel like that's just gonna like stress you out more than it should. So yeah, everything has a solution for sure, but you just have to, again, go out of your comfort zone and ask the questions that you need. And again, if you did not understand something, ask for clarification. That's okay as well. Um, yeah, and that's pretty much it, I think.
Well, thank you, ladies. So everybody who's planning on joining the University of Akron, make sure you meet the International Center. They're there to support you. I love the fact that if you have any challenges academically, do not be ashamed or do not feel afraid. Go and ask, I need help. It's easier that way. I don't wait till the last minute. I remember from my experience, some students will wait last minute and then at some time, you will not have enough time to make up for the grades. But if you start talking to your professor right away and if you take advantage of tutoring, then you can turn things around and still complete the course successfully and be involved. You'll make new friends, you'll learn more about yourself and just enjoy the journey. I would say summing it up from what you two ladies said. Okay, so with that we're gonna go to another part where we're gonna have our audience get involved with some of with the next part of our journey before we open up to the Q&A. And this is myth or fact. So we're gonna have the first poll for everybody to please make sure you vote just to have a myth fact, just so you to see what you think or not. Is it myth or fact? And once everybody has picked, we'll see. Oh, look at that. Everybody, it's a myth. So we convinced them it's not as expensive as one would think in Ohio to live. But ladies, would it be fair to say that the cost of living compared to some other parts of United States in Ohio, it's pretty reasonable?
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
definitely agree for sure.
Okay. All right. Okay. So we're going to the next one. It's hard to find food you're used to, just like my bread story. Can we open that myth, that poll, and see the next question? Keen to see what the answer is there. Okay. So 80% thinks it's a myth. 20% think it's a fact. So with you ladies, is it easier to find foods the way you grew up with, or just adjust with what you used to eat when you were back home? Are you able to find food that you remind you of home, I would say? Because to me, that was a big thing when I was young.
50-50.
Okay.
For sure it's not gonna be exactly, like
It's
a
not your mom's
home cooked
cooking, that's for
meal,
sure.
right? It's gonna be different, but at least for me, what helps me, I'm living on campus, but I'm in like an apartment and I share with other students. So I'm able to cook, like there's a kitchen in the apartment. So I think that's how I also keep, that part of me going. I do like cooking as well, and I'm asking like my mom and my grandma for recipes sometimes,
Recipes. Okay.
just trying to make it here with the ingredients I can get here. But yeah, that might be 50-50. You're not gonna have specifically probably what you were used to back home, but I think you can still find good options as well.
Yeah, I also live like on campus, like where like there's a kitchen and everything. So I basically like cook for myself. The only issue, I wouldn't say it's an issue, but like since I'm a Muslim, I'm only supposed to like eat like halal meat. So for
Mhm.
that, I just go to like to the halal store and like get like the halal meat there and then just cook for myself. So yeah, getting the ingredients is not that difficult, honestly. Yeah.
All right.
Mhm.
Okay, so we're going to the next myth or facts poll question. You need a car to go around. A myth or fact? Okay. All right. So every about 78% think it's a myth and only 22% think it's a fact. From your experience, ladies, do you need a car right away to move around?
I wouldn't say right away. In terms of going to school, you can pretty much you can walk, of course, and there's also like buses that go around. There's like little purple buses,
Okay.
who take students, and they're working. I don't know. I seen them work like all day. I don't know when they stop, honestly, but I know they start very early in the morning, and I'm assuming they go all the way to nighttime. If you are traveling long distances, then the car, yeah, of course. If you're going to a different city, um, it might be hard to get there. Of course, there are buses, but I don't have that much experience in that area, so I wouldn't. But in terms of on campus, you don't need a car. But yeah, if you're trying to go somewhere else, Ohio is a pretty big state, I would say. So if you're trying to go to a different city, if you're trying to go to Cleveland or Cincinnati or Columbus or something like that, then of course, yeah, I don't think you.
And I mean, it's fair to say though, when the student starts in the right in the first semester, I don't think they should be like, if I don't have a car, I will not be able to um, survive, or that's far from reality. Most of the time, everything will be around campus. And then, of course, if you need to go somewhere, even if you don't have a car by the time, there's people you can meet. There's other resources that you can take advantage of. But sometimes students think, "Oh my God, I'm starting, and if there's no car, how would I manage my life here?" It can be very manageable, especially if you're going to live on campus, and especially since Akron, it's so close, as you said, to downtown. A lot of it can be taken advantage of the public transportation and other services that University of Akron is offering. I'm gonna do the other poll question because I know I see the time, and I know we have quite a few Q&A, and I'm gonna answer a couple of those. So winters are hard to adjust. And I know, Mariam, you spoke about that experience when you started, but um, myth or fact, winters are hard to adjust. And depending where you're coming from, trust me, some winters are really, really hard. Oh, it's a fact. Are you still adjusted to the winters? My- I mean, it's because winters are very tough, especially in some parts of the United States that I know for sure. But Miriam, you said second year around, you feel like you're adjusted to it?
Bit better, even though like there were some days, I think there was like a time where like, we had to like there was no school there, like campus was closed because of how bad like the weather was. But I feel like that is every year, so at some point you get used to it. But it yeah,
Oh,
it's difficult at times, yeah. It's hard to adjust, but then you're gonna get used to it. Yeah, that's what I can say.
Yeah, I agree
Hmm.
with that.
Hmm.
I'm in St. Louis too, and winters here are pretty tough, so you get used to it. All right. Can we put the last one, Paul, myth to do outside of the classes? And I know we spoke about this through our chat, but I'd like to see what students, parents, agents still think about. There's not much to do outside classes. Is it a myth or a fact? It's a myth, 100% almost, which is exciting to see that. I think we convinced them there's and please take advantage of them. And I know our time is not, we only have like 5 minutes, so I want to see because I see some questions here. Um, so I'm gonna pick a couple of questions and go from there. Um, okay. What was the first small win after arriving that made you feel more confident? It's one question. Small win.
Getting like good grades, like being like
Okay.
in the presence list, that was like
Yeah.
it wasn't a small win. It was actually a big win for me because when I first came, I thought it was gonna be like hard because I didn't know like the system, like how the education system was, but it's actually w way more like easier than like back home. So yeah, as long as like you study and like focus in class and like go to office hours and like
Yeah.
attend like if you have any questions, like she said, tutoring as well. You're gonna get the grades that you want. So yeah, I feel like that would yeah, it was like being in the president's list. Yeah.
And well, congratulations on that because it
Thank you.
takes a hard work to do that. So
Mhm.
kudos to that. And for Emily, what was a big win for you? Maybe that
Yeah,
you can point.
yeah, I think definitely with grades, in this program, being a grad student, I think I was very worried about the grades because, I was used to undergrad and at a different school, and I didn't know how much different it was gonna be. Of course, I knew the curriculum is a bit harder. Is always nice. But I think if I think about like a small win, I would definitely say just like finishing like moving into your room. I don't know. For me, that's always I hate moving my stuff. I don't like it. So when I've had to move rooms before, floors or like different buildings, I'm always like, oh my gosh, I have to pack
Um,
everything and set it up. But once you're done with setting up your room and
check.
you're like, okay, I made it how I liked it. Like this is my space. This is where I study and I relax and I feel like that's always a small win that I've liked. Setting up my room
Yeah.
and feeling like I'm ready to go.
Thank you, ladies. All right, so another question. And I think it's especially for someone who just starts their studies in a different environment, but when you come to US, one thing that it's an interesting question. Did you ever have a moment where you felt out of place? And how did you get through it?
Um, yeah, I mean those moments sometimes like you feel like they're never gonna go away, but at some point they do. So like I said, I'm a Muslim, so like I wear like the hijab. So in all of my classes and all the classes I've been, I'm always the only person that wears the hijab, like in the class. So whenever
Mhm.
I turn and look around, I'm like, oh my God, I'm the odd one out. Like, so it was actually like, I don't know, it was difficult at first, but then I met like some other like Muslim students because that's how I joined like the Muslim Student Association. But then even like in class, like they don't even pay attention to like your religion or like what you wear. Everybody is like they treat everybody like equally. So yeah, like, I also like made friends in my classes as well. So yeah, sometimes like feeling out of place is something like I feel like it's something you're gonna feel every time like you go to somewhere new. But then at some point you're gonna say, "Oh, well, I don't think like, so you're gonna be like, "Oh, I was being silly. Why was I feeling out of place?" Because like everybody is just so nice and super helpful. So yeah. Hmm.
All right. So with timing, I will ask another question. I know we spoke a bit about it earlier, Emily, transportation in the area. Are there regular buses to and from campus to market or downtown area? So for someone who's trying to adjust to life at the University of Akron, especially on that first semester, um, is there good public transportation or buses that students from campus can take advantage of to go downtown or the marketplace?
Yeah, I am not the best to talk about public transportation. I do know that those purple buses I was mentioning work for campus, so
Also,
I know they go from like the dorms to the student union, and then from there you can really walk anywhere on campus, any
oh,
building that you
nice.
need to go to. So that's not that complicated, I don't think. And then if you're going downtown, well, you're right downtown, honestly. Like when you go, for example, if you're at the business school, if you step out of the business school, you're downtown Akron. It's right there.
And so it's
So
right there. I mean, downtown is right there.
getting downtown is not really complicated. You just walk like a block, I think, and you make it downtown. And it's a very small city. It's not like a huge city or anything like that. And then for the city buses, I do see them all the time. I've seen a ton of bus stops, but I've never used them. So I don't know how it
But
works,
they're
but
there.
they're there for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I know it's 9 o'clock and I think we're done, but I have one question and maybe it's nothing to do. It's with a student who said, what do you think made your visa interview go well? So when you had your visa interview, what was your experience that you got your visa? Because a lot of students now are wondering, will I get my visa or not? And I know right now these times are a bit more challenging than others. And I know it's not your campus life, but it's prior to that. So, any tips you'd give from your experience to the students who are getting ready to apply for those visa appointments and they're going to go for the visa appointment? What would you say? So, hey, Emily, you want to start since I see you on my screen?
Sure. I think for me, of course, it was a few years ago, so I know things have been a little different uh currently, so I haven't had to do that in a long time, but when I did it, I feel like just being, don't take it as something super scary or anything like that. I remember I kind of, did my research on like, oh, what are they gonna ask me or anything like that. It wasn't anything crazy. They just want to make sure that you know that you're an international student. You answer their questions. Where are you going? Oh, I'm going to the University of Akron. They asked me, oh, where is that located? I was like, Akron, Ohio. It's nothing. It's nothing crazy. And honestly, the person who interviewed me, they actually asked about like, oh, like what's your major? Like what are you going for and what you want to do with your career? And that was my whole interview. I answered the questions. It was more like a conversation like what we're having right now. And they were like, okay, congratulations. And I wish you, the best of luck. It wasn't anything crazy. Don't feel like you're doing anything wrong. You've done your paperwork. They know that because they have all your
I see your
paperwork
report.
already. So they just want to verify like your main information, where you're going, what you're going for, how long is your stay, stuff like that, but it's nothing crazy.
Thank you. And Mariam, what would your experience be like?
Yeah, I feel like it was the same thing. I'm just gonna add to that, like, just, be yourself. Like, don't like she said, don't be scared or anything. Just be honest with them. Like, whenever they ask a question, just answer honestly, because, like she said, they know that you did your paperwork and everything is like intact. So they just want to like, you know, get to know you better, I guess. So just be honest and like, I feel like, because there was we had like before, like I had my interview. I remember my DSO telling me that some people like over prepare themselves and like,
Mhm.
you know, memorize their answers. Don't do that. Don't
Don't
ever
do
do
that.
that, because
Mhm.
that's
Yeah,
gonna get you in so much trouble. So just like, yeah,
exactly.
be yourself, and yeah, you're gonna be fine. You're totally gonna be
Yeah.
fine. Yeah. Hmm.
I love it because that's exactly what we're telling. And I love the fact, be yourself. Think of it as a conversation. That's what I say. And I like, thank you for the fact, do not memorize it. I think sometimes students over want to over prepare and they're finding for the perfect answer. And the perfect answer does not exist. It's your answer. And as imperfect and perfect as it can be, it is you as a student to show up. And I appreciate that because we tell it all the time, but it's wonderful to hear it from you girls as well, knowing that your experience, it was you genuinely being you. Of course, you need to do your research. You need to know why you're doing what you're doing, what you want to study at this particular school, at this particular program, how it relates to your future career plans. But at the end of the day, just show up, having a small conversation, and give them a chance to see who you are, because that's the point of that interview. As you ladies said, they've got the paperwork. They know you've met all the expectation that the university was looking for. They just want to get to know you just for this tiny bit, for those 3 to 5 minutes. So I appreciate this because I know it's something we tell students all the time, but to come from you ladies, I think I hope students understand why we're telling what we're telling, that be prepared, but do not memorize. Find your answers. There's no perfect answer. Nobody will give you the perfect answer. Only you know the answer as it pertains to you. And I know we went over 5 minutes, and I know there's more questions there. So what we will do, we will try to answer the questions and send it with an email to everybody who attended. But it was wonderful chatting with you ladies. I appreciate your time. I appreciate students. I surely enjoyed it. So I wish you both the best. I'm sure you're going to do fantastic in wherever you are, and hopefully I'll get to meet you when I come and visit University of Akron sometime this year. But thank you again. Wishing you the best, and everybody who attended, whatever time it is in your part of the world. Thank you for making time to join us. Hopefully, give you an understanding what you will get out of the University of Akron and that environment of support, of welcome. Join. So please feel confident to move forward with your application, your visa process, and hopefully we will see you all at the University of Akron. And hey, when you join, you already know these two ladies, so you can stop by and say hello and let them know you met them on this webinar. But thank you, everybody. Wishing you all a wonderful, wonderful day or evening. And see you when I see you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.